just want you guys just to know that in like around, I think it was like 2000 like 13, I got hired by the U.S. State Department with the American Refugee Committee, and I what we did was we created a program called "I Am a Star" campaign, and that was with Kanan, who's a Somali artist. And what we did was we raised money. They hired me basically to design campaigns, and we raised money with the United Nations and other organizations to build three hospitals in between Somaliland and in the refugee camp in Kenya, in Dadaab, Kenya, which is like mostly that. We did that. I raised the money for that, and then we built three hospitals because
it's called divide and conquer. You guys are going.
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish the point. Let me finish the point. Let me finish the point. We built those hospitals there because there were thousands of Somalis who were fleeing Islamic radicalism, going into Dadaab, Kenya, which is the largest refugee camp in the world, and they were going in there, and so but people were dying from cholera and other diseases.
What time, Black Rabbi? What time was this?
This is like 2013. 2012, 2013, around that time.
But Somaliland, it's not even recognized. So why would you guys do?
No, AB, just 1 second. You know, Black Rabbi.
What do you mean it's not recognized?
No, just forget Somaliland. You know, Black Rabbi. So you said, what part of Somalia were people fleeing from? What part?
Jeez, this is so long ago.
No, because you made a point. I'm very, very I'm a Somali. I know my history and the geopolitics.
So let me ask you, you're Somali, like you know Somali.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a Somali Canadian.
You know a group named Sweet Rush?
Sweet Rush, like where are they based?
Yes, I know them. The singers, yeah, from Toronto. I know.
From Toronto, yes. So they used to live. Yeah, so they used to live with me. I took care of them for a while when they were in Los Angeles, and then I was working for the United Nations, right?
Yeah.
And through the State Department, it was really through the State Department, but we partnered with the United Nations, and we raised the money. We built those hospitals. I worked with Kanan. Kanan was a big part of the program. There was a bunch of really amazing Somalis that were part of this program. It was like two girls that were twins. I can't think of what their whole thing.
So was it in the south? Obviously, it was in the south of Somalia. Like since you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I will tell you this. But I was supposed to go to Somaliland, and I was going to go with a caravan with the UN and go from Somaliland to Dadaab, Kenya. And the reason why we didn't go, I took my shots. I got everything done. We were ready to go.
Yeah.
The reason why we didn't go, and I'll leave with this. That there was a graduation, and you probably remember this. There was a graduation in Somaliland of, I think it was like 400 doctors that were Somalians that went to the UK and became doctors, and they came back to graduation. And El Shabazz, if I'm saying their name correctly, they bombed the hotel where the graduation was at and killed all the doctors.
That wasn't in Somaliland. It wasn't in Somaliland, bro. It wasn't.
What was it at?
Well, like what you're talking about, it happened literally in Kenya.
So just explain it, yeah.
No,
it wasn't.
Kenya.
No, it was like it's called the NFD region, where so there's two incidents. There's one that happened in Kenya in 2006, and there's a 2013 event that happened.
That's the 13. That's the one I was.
Okay. So your point, the reason why I had to interject.
Brother, can you explain what happened?
So I definitely will. The reason why I had to interject is because you keep making a point on Islamic radicalism, how Somalis fled from Somalia because of Islamic radicalism, right? It's just that's the thing,
I'll
man.
explain.
Like,
okay, so I'm Ahmad. Okay, can I just,
brother?
I'll let you finish right after. Okay, so Black Rabbi, right? I think you have a grasp of what's going on in the Middle East, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for sharing the information. And mashallah, that's really nice that you guys did that. But what I will explain to you is Somalia's problem is tribal, and they have a tribal warfare going on. Yes. And I would argue that that's the bigger issue. And so what's happening with Al-Shabaab is what we found out is that they are funded by Iran. They are funded by, external groups. And yes, they do create chaos and so on. But the reason why Somali people get upset is we are, just like the brother in the room, we're well aware of what's going on in our country, right? And we know Like if you just notice, like while you're in the room, some guy came in and tried to get upset about talking about Somaliland. That's a triggering conversation because there's still a tribal problem going on, right? That is still a bigger problem for us than even Islamism. You understand?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I would say if you want to argue about Islamism or whatever, I would say is the problem maybe in Palestine? Is the problem in Iran? The way I see is the Iranian people are fighting against it or whatever. They want to get rid of their government.
What's Islamism?
But Somalia, no.
What's
You know
Islamism?
what? Brother, you know what? I don't like those terms either, but I need to use some term that we could at least like understand.
So you can
But
use,
I
you
get
know
what
what would
you're
be
saying.
better? Because if
Yeah,
you
tell
say
me.
Islamism, so here's the problem, right?
Yeah, what's the better
this
word?
is
I don't like
so-
it either.
No, so the problem is, like, honestly, the West uses a lot of buzz terms to demonize Muslims. Terms like fundamentalist. I'm a Muslim fundamentalist, 100%. I believe in my book and in the Prophet's way, alayhi salatu wasalam, 100%.
You keep breaking up.
I'm a
Hold on 1 second.
fundamentalist.
Can you mute up? Because you keep talk again, brother.
Okay. So can you hear me?
No, you're still in the matrix. Just wait for a second
Okay.
because I want to make a comment about
You
that.
guys come. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back in a second.
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
want you guys to know that I
Go ahead.
respect you guys. I love you guys as human
Love you too.
beings.
Love you
And
too. Peace.
if we keep having these types of dialogues, we're gonna get somewhere. This is not a battle.
Inshallah.
This is about revolution of thinking, right? And we need to figure out how do we get all of our people into a new level of thinking, right?
Thank you so much.
And that's where
Thank
peace
you.
comes out of that. But I'll come back. I'm just chilling with some friends right now.
Yeah, come back. Okay, shalom, bye. Yeah, you know what I was gonna say though, right? A fundamentalist is someone, right? I hope you can still hear me. Welcome, Norma and Randy. I hope you can still hear me, 81, right? A fundamentalist, the way they explained it is someone who looks in the past and they argue that these people are looking in the past when the caliphate was amazing and the Muslim world was in power. That fundamentalists look towards that. Now, my question is, all these young kids that believe America was in the past, make America great again, the ones in England too that believe in we were better in the past, is that fundamentalist? Is that considered fundamentalist? Would that be the same thing? Right?
I don't understand that definition of fundamentalist.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, saying that some days were the good old days, that doesn't make you a fundamentalist. You know, saying that, before the internet, people were friendlier and less isolation, does that make me a fundamentalist?
No, but saying that you want to kill or you hate a group of people and you're trying to kill them because we have the great white replacement, they're all replacing us, that's fundamentalist too. And that's violent because you're saying I don't want these immigrants.
I'll denounce that. I'll denounce that any day of the week. Anyone who thinks white people, replacing, all that stuff is terrible. I don't know if you're calling fundamentalist. Racist is a good word.
Yeah, I still think they're fundamentalists because they're looking to the past of a heyday that's not there anymore. And now they're arguing they could deport. Fine, fair enough. They could deport people. But what
So
I'm saying
nostalgia is not inherently fundamentalism. If you heard the Democratic National Convention the last two nights, all of them were talking about a kinder, gentler time when you could leave your garage door open and you went to soccer practice and then you had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It was like, make America great again, except without saying make America great again. It was like, remember the good old days? That's what it was about, which is sort of acknowledging the failure of the current administration.
right, and Trump, when he says that, he means it from an economic perspective. He's saying that we want America to be great again in terms of economic, even though it's still the most economically powerful country, he's saying we might lose it. And that's where his stance. So I don't think this is racial at all. But what I'm saying is there are young men that are being radicalized to think of it as a racial thing. You understand? That's why I think that's just as fundamentalist as some Wahhabi Shia who's telling them that we want the caliphate again. When? You're talking about like...
I think what Trump wants is military strength and confidence. Like he wants to sell an interesting. Kamala is selling joy, and Trump is selling sort of masculine confidence and power. Remember, her theme now is joy. Feel the joy.
Well,
So it's marketing. Huh?
yes, but it is marketing abnormal. But the thing is, the regular people believe it. The young kid that shot him in the face, that kid probably believed what Trump is talking about and thought we're going to go into a civil war, a race war. He actually probably believes this stuff. And look, he ended up shooting Trump. So Trump himself is a victim, in my opinion, of the same MAGA spirit. And
Did Trump say we were going into a race war?
No, but some of the people that like, okay, there's a video you could see of Trump where he said Ilhan Omar, she should be deported or something. And they start saying, send her back. And you could tell he was disgusted. His face looked disgusted. And they asked him about it. Look, I don't think Trump is even a racist person. I just think he's a capitalist and he's more from an economic perspective. He wants America to compete with the rest of the world, right? And that's not even a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I think he's trying to do something good. The problem is that there's the wackos that like can easily turn on him, and I think that's what that little kid did. That's what I'm saying. Like he comes across almost MAGA. I don't know. Did he look Iranian to you? Was that? I don't know. They were claiming Iran was doing it too. I don't know. I really don't know. It's something I don't understand. But we were talking about fundamentalists. That's the thing. That was the argument. But they all
I
ran
think
away.
a
They were like,
fundamentalist is like a literalist. They take things so literally that they don't make sense. So they believe that they understand what the word God is, for example, and their word of God is a translation of a translation of a translation of a Bible, which they then take literally. So that's just like almost like a cognitive issue. It's just not very smart.
Yes, absolutely. If anyone wants to come up, more people, everyone just ran away. The black rabbi said he wants to come back up. I know people go to different rooms, but if people want to come up and share, fine. But if you're just trolling, I'm kicking your dumb ass out of the room.
Did you know that he used to be both Muslim and then he used to be Christian before he became Jewish?
Well, Princess, I came in here.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I had a question for you.
Did you know the guy calling himself Black Rabbi used to be Muslim and used to be Christian before he became a Jew?
No, I didn't know that. I thought he was being very polite, but he.
I didn't say he's impolite.
No, I know. I'm not saying you, but he was talking about how he did some charity work in Somalia and stuff. Well, the problem is that when he uses the word Islamic fundamentalism, it triggers people because it's like, okay, by saying the Muslim countries don't have good leadership, are they ignoring the fact that there was an Arab Spring and that so many of these countries did take their leadership out? And like even when he talks about Iran, how many Iranian kids are dying on the street trying to take their leadership out? Why do they ignore that? That's what angers me. Like that's why I didn't want to get mad at him, but he was pissing me off a bit. Respectfully.
Who named the room? Who named this room? Is it okay for Israel to become a world superpower? It's a very triggering name. What does it mean to be a world superpower? How many world superpowers are there right now? Is someone suggesting that Israel aspires to be at the level of the U.S. and China? Is that what the headline of the room means? I'm just wondering.
So, Randy, we're not supposed to let them know that we actually control the U.S. and China with our thought control. Do we not tell them about that?
Look, we control the Chinese economy because if Jews decided not to eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve, the Chinese would probably go bust. Their whole economy would fall apart. But we don't like to talk about it. But what does the room title mean? Israel to be a superpower. How many superpowers are there? Do you consider England and France a superpower?
They're declining, but they still kind of are. I don't know, but is Israel a superpower in the Middle East? That's a good question. Would you think it's a superpower in the Middle East? What do you guys think?
No. I think Iran is probably the most aspiring. They are the ones who want to dominate, fund proxies. I think Iran is the closest thing we have to an aspiring superpower in the Middle East.
Okay, fair enough.
They're building a nuclear weapon. They're paying for terror attacks all around the world. They pay people to attack synagogues in Argentina, elsewhere. I guess they're the most powerful. They're the biggest. They're the richest. By any metric, they're the closest we have to a superpower.
So here's the thing, Randy.
It's very sad.
The reason why people get suspicious is I know leaders sometimes have to sell a war, right? The way Bush sold the war to Americans was that the weapons of mass destruction were in Iraq, correct? I was old enough to remember that. Now he's saying is Iran. And that's where people get suspicious because it's like, why has there been a war in the Middle East for the last 20 years? And they're saying there's weapons here, there's this here, there's that. And then there's never any evidence for any of this stuff. Like, this is where people get suspicious. Now, whether they want to blame the Jews,
There are no
my thing is,
superpowers.
it's America. Sorry? Go ahead, brother.
Oh, no, no, just saying there are no superpowers in the Middle East. Not of yet. Most of them, they can make it harder, but to really have huge influences in the world, not even Iran. I mean, oil, yeah, it's easier to get in the Middle East, but it's still, you can always get out.
So
Like superpower is the amount of influence you have on another nation. Like you can literally break another nation just by not just military, but so neither Iran, Israel, or whatever.
Listen, look, if you think that because we made, this reminds me of people who, like, every time you talk about any U.S. involvement in any foreign conflict, they start talking about Vietnam. If every time we talk about Iran, people start bringing up Iraq and what happened 20 years ago, then we're never going to get anywhere. We'll never know. Guess what? We'll never know to what extent Iraq had WMD. WMD is a very vague and open term. It doesn't just mean nuclear weapons. We saw that on September 11th, an airplane, when driven into a building, is a weapon of mass destruction. But the fact, if Iraq, if they didn't find a stockpile, they certainly had what's called ramping up capacity. And that is where we are with Iran today. They may not have a nuclear weapon today, but according to different experts, they have all the tools and methodology to make one in a month or two. So you may not go there and find a nuclear weapon tied up with a neat bow, but there's definitely centrifuges. They're definitely working on the technology. And just because you won't find a nuclear weapon doesn't mean that they don't have the ramping up technology and they're not working towards it. The problem is if you wait till they have it, like in the case of North Korea, by the time you confirm 100% they have it, guess what? They're a nuclear power. You can't do anything about it. So that's where other factors come in.
What do you mean anything about it? You're saying they're going to attack the U.S. with
Could you speak directly into the mic because I'm not hearing you?
No,
but what I'm saying is once a country has a nuclear weapon, it's a lot harder to stop them once they have the weapon.
To stop what? I want to understand. Are you saying they're going to use it to attack the U.S.?
They want to use it to attack Israel. They've said it. They said Israel is a cancer and they want to destroy Israel.
Did
you hear that?
Yeah, but it's not.
Oh, sorry.
That would be the stupidest thing they do.
Yeah, but do you want to go? Maybe it's not the stupid. That's your opinion. Maybe they think it's the smartest thing they could do. It's just 1,000 times the size of Israel. They could, with one nuclear weapon, they could destroy Israel. It would take 10 nuclear weapons to destroy Iran or more.
That would be the end of Iran. Like,
right,
no more nation is going to be flying.
So the same with suicide bombers. They do things that are against their normal instincts, but that's their culture. Tells them it's okay to do it.
Right. If I could just say quickly, right? Putin has been saying over and over again that he might use a nuclear weapon. He said that multiple times, right? Now people think he's bluffing, right? But the point is that we're at a stage in history where it became normal for leaders to just, it's sadistic to even threaten. Because before, just having bombs, like nuclear bombs, like they put it in Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? Just it being near America is very scary, right? So people were like terrified. That was when they thought the whole world is going to go into a nuclear war, right? Now they won't put it near anywhere, but the leader will start threatening and saying they're going to use it. I don't know about you, but I know people will say it's stupid, it's mutual suicidal. No one in their right mind would do it. What about someone who's not in their right mind? Would they do it? Would they touch it? And Putin might be one person. Do we know who else is underneath him? Like, would you trust?
Like, do you really believe attacking Iran is actually gonna ensure Israel's survival? Because Russia has even made a pact on protecting Iran on military terrorism if the US steps in. So now you're gonna be fighting two world nations, and then you have the Middle East, and then that's just gonna make the Middle East so ungovernable. No one will even stay there. Like, I think we just get unrealistic on this part for both parts, right? Like, it's the motive.
So your logic is Iran could do anything, and and Israel would be crazy to attack them, right? Israel is stuck. They can't do anything.
Israel just killed. How didn't they kill?
100 kids, right?
But they killed the leader of Hamas.
And
They killed the leader of Hamas in Iran.
My point is,
You're thinking of Hamas. They killed 1,200
They
Jews.
also killed,
You got
Israel
confused.
killed also 100 kids in a school last week as well.
Yeah, because Hamas was hiding there. That's what happens when terrorists hide among civilians.
Yeah,
It's not you don't get out of the war by hiding among civilians. You just cause more civilian deaths. But nobody says, oh, we can't attack these people because they're hiding among children. No, it's you say, well, that's a shame. It's really too bad, but we have to get these people, even if they're hiding among children. Otherwise, they'll never get caught. Otherwise, you can never defeat
No, I'm
Hamas
sorry.
because they hide in hospitals.
We have international rules of war. In the international rules of war, you cannot bomb schools.
You cannot hide in hospitals, but they're doing it.
You cannot.
You can't station people in hospitals, but they.
So guess what? Israel is completing a war crime, and that's why they're in the ICJ right now. A lot of countries filed a genocide against them. So let's see down the line.
Yeah,
attacking
anyone else
Iran
come
full
up?
throttle.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to be quick. Attacking Iran full throttle will not just, I don't think, just destabilize the Middle East. It will ensure that Israel does not exist. Palestine does not exist. Hell, even Kuwait, all the surrounding nations,
Talking
they
about
will not exist whatsoever, man. That would be one of the most destructive things you ever do on the world map. And that's why America, the United States, is even hesitating on that level. They even allow Israel to get revenge after you killed whoever. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I do see Americans, for most part, as much as angry they're not also Americans are not stupid, man. You can put emotions all you want. At the end of the day, no one, both Russia, both even Israel, no one is willing to really cut that super threshold as much. You know?
Do you remember when
if you did that, I think there might be a point where America would even not back Israel. Like,
you know what? Let me just say something. Israel literally targeted American soldiers, and we don't even have this discussion.
When was that?
They killed American soldiers knowingly.
When? You seem to know something that I don't know. When? When did that happen?
You don't.
What are you talking about?
Okay, but could we be respectful, Randy?
No, I just want to know it. She's spreading a big lie, a big fat lie, and I want to know what she knows that I don't know.
You don't remember the year?
When was it? Just tell me what year. You don't have to tell me the date or the month, but what are you talking about?
It happened 9. Okay, go on mute for
What year?
Go on mute and then I can. Okay. So, guys, on June 8, 1967.
Okay. Yes, that was a mistake. That was not intentional. That was 60 years ago.
Okay.
You're going back 60 years, and that was a mistake.
Okay.
All right. Take care, guys. I see where this is headed. You're looking for a big lie. Yes, it's quite, yes, we know about it. But
It's okay. It's okay. Just go around.
It wouldn't be a lie because
the U.S. understands that the U.S. has made Israel its #1 ally, but you want to stir up a 60-year-old incident. Okay.
No, but Randy,
Okay,
you asked her for a date. She gave you a
Now,
date.
I wanted to know what she was talking. Now I know what she's talking about. First of all, she's lying about the facts. She's lying about the facts.
Okay. Did you know this? So, this is for the audience, guys. In June 8, 1967, the Navy intelligence ship, so we had a ship, right? The USSR Liberty, that's what it was called, right? And Israel, knowingly, even though they had intelligence from Egypt, dropped a bomb on a United States ship, right? How many Americans died? 34 American soldiers died. Guys, we're not even taught about this. We're not told this in our classrooms. No one tells us that Israel attacked America and killed 34 American soldiers. Guys, I need you guys to write this down so you can do research. It's called the USS Liberty. And this was 34 Americans were dead because of Israel. So please write that down, read about it, so you know what they've done to America themselves. And
look, this is the reason why that doesn't make sense, AB, is when it comes to Israel, right? The country Israel, right? It's an ally. You guys are separating it from America. Look, America was leading the war that was going on in the Middle East. There were many countries involved, like Russia. Russia was in Syria, right? Then you had Canada was even supporting America at some point in Afghanistan, right? You had the British. You had multiple different countries taking part in that conflict, right? So when you're seeing Israel now taking part of it, people turn it into something that is like completely different. It's just a continuation of America. That's it. It's an ally and it works alongside with America. It's not separate.
AB, can I say one thing?
Yeah, just I don't want any emotional pointing.
Princess, no, it's not emotional.
Okay.
For me, Israel isn't just an ally, and there's books I'm gonna reference that talk about there were times where Israel aligned with the British and the French, right, in opposition to U.S. foreign policy. So Israel isn't just an ally. I feel like they've seeped in. Like, go ahead.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Right? Do you consider? I'm gonna ask him a question. Do you consider Canada an ally to America? Yes or no?
100%.
Okay. What if I told you that America with the British burnt down the White House and had a war with America called 1812? Does that change that Canada is its ally? Yes or no?
That isn't the same dynamic, but it doesn't.
Am I allowed to? If I'm just allowed to.
But you asked me a question, right, Princess?
No, I'm talking about AB, not you.
No, repeat it again. I can't hear you.
Oh, I thought you asked me. Okay, go ahead.
I know it's not you, brother. I'm having a conversation with you, and then she jumps in. I didn't know you didn't hear, sister. Okay, I'm gonna repeat the thing because I'm talking to him. That's why. I asked him that Canada at one point, because it's a British colony, it was a loyalist to the British, right? So it went against America and burnt down their White House, right? So even when you look at World War I and World War II, Canada was involved in all of them. America just jumped in towards the end because America fought the British and is no longer was its kind of like colony, even though it has more of a loyalty to England than it does other places. Now, Israel is the same way. It was created by the British mandate, yes. But is it loyal to England anymore? No. It's very much more aligned with America, yes. Right? Would that be wrong or right for me to say?
Princess, I never said Israel is loyal to England. I never said that. That wasn't the point of what I said earlier, right? It definitely is a lot more, America adjacent. I don't deny that. But that wasn't even my point.
Reply back to Princess. Listen, you Canadians didn't do that. Canada was not one political party until 1867. So it's actually a lie when people say, "Oh, Canadians came to the White House and burned." No, they didn't. They were loyalists, though. They were a whole bunch of political parties that have no sovereign Canada. It was just people that were, against the United States. So we can't say Canada.
Fair enough, right. But what I mean is allies can change, right? So let's say, for example, right, in the future, there's a conflict that goes on between America and England. This is all hypothetical, right? And Canada decides, right, to change. Actually, no, I have a better example, right? Trump is American, and he's arguing that the EU should step up and pay for their own defense, and that he doesn't want America to, be leading these wars anymore, and that he doesn't feel like they do their part enough. That's what he said, right? So he is breaking these historical ties. He doesn't care. Every country wants survival, right? So the Israel is in the Middle East, right? It has a survival tendency. It wants to survive, right? And all those countries around them don't like them. And guess what? They actually have a good reason to. Not only do they dislike Israel's presence in the region, but they also hate the fact that they're aligned with America. Guess what? America was behind Benghazi. Yeah, Libya. Do you know how many of the Middle East?
Dude, one of the most important allies of the United States are the GCC countries.
What are those countries? Can you name them?
Which which is Saudi Arabia,
I
Qatar,
said Libya.
all
I mentioned Libya, Benghazi.
No, but I'm saying that the biggest Zionists sit in the GCC countries, which is again United Emirates, right? All these countries are they're allies to the United States. What do you mean? They bow down to them.
Right, but that's not what my argument was. My argument was that there are countries in the Middle East that have an issue with America because of America's role in the region, right? So if you look at Libya with the whole Benghazi situation, of course Saudi Arabia doesn't have an issue with America. Why would it? But there are multiple other countries that have disdain. Look, there are many countries in the Middle East that said that if Israel wasn't aligned with America, that they would have destroyed Israel a long time ago. That's what they said. That they think that they have a powerful backing. That's it. You understand?
No, but Princess, after the USSR Liberty thing where they bombed and killed Americans, why would I be an ally to a country that stabbed me in the back and killed my people? Does that make sense? Why?
Because allies are not made through love. Allies are made through survival, and allies are made through what you offer me. Israel. Look. Listen, AB, one moment, okay? You're acting like these countries, right, have some kind of love. This is a group of people that literally did the Holocaust. Europe, right? America used to be anti-Semitic as hell. White supremacists don't even like Jewish people. So this idea that the same white supremacists in America all of a sudden love Jewish people is nonsensical. Israel offers very important intelligence to America. It offers things to America. If it didn't offer anything, they would be at the bottom of the barrel like the rest of the world is. You have to offer something in order for you. It's called power. That's what it's called. That's it. It's just power. And I don't know why you guys think it's based off of like anything else, like some voodoo. No, America's strategic.
Just one second, Mr. Princess.
Can you let Mr.
Americans really underestimate. I'll be quick. I'll also be quick.
Can you go ahead?
Americans.
Bro, you're not a mod.
Be a fair mod. I got off a mute before.
Do you want to be a mod? So do you want?
I don't want to be a mod. Like, go ahead, Miss. Like, bro, you're too jump.
You can't tell me what to do in the room. You're out. I'm just gonna remove you from the room because you can't tell me what to do in my own room. What the fuck? What's wrong with this guy?
Just because you're giving mod and Alonzo.
Peace out. Peace out. He thinks he could be disrespectful for no reason. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't care about your emotions and what you like and don't like. Don't like me. I don't care. Go ahead, mister.
Yeah, I agree with you for a point. I think there is this thing where people actually think love plays a part with allyship. Americans have died in Greece. Americans have died in Germany through government, maybe through some citizens or whatnot. Like Americans die a lot through a lot of events that people just don't put on TV. It's only when maybe it's in the Middle East that it goes with the narrative that they want to push, like, Iraq killed some Americans. That's why we're going for weapons of mass destruction. Those are just coincidences. The truth is, America benefits a lot more with Israel being there because they're more like a watchdog for them. They're like a satellite state. So I understand to that, but it's not that I'm pro-Israel or anything. It's, just sensical for most part.
I have a question. Elnor, do you believe that there's an occupation?
Where?
Like in the West Bank and the settlers that are there? Do you think that's right, legal?
I would say a better term is disputed territory, as I was explaining to that guy Saganor before. If you look at the history of the region, Arafat considered the entire state of Israel an occupation. So when people use that term, I worry that they're being deceptive. So I would say there are Arab villages in Judea and Samaria. And what happens with them is very much up in the air. I think we were on a pathway to peace for a long time, but I think Hamas blew that up. So we already have peace with Jordan, with Egypt, with Saudi, which to me is the leader of the Muslim world, the Sunni Muslim world, UAE, another leader, Bahrain, Morocco. We're going to continue that peace process. And at some point, the Palestinians are going to have to put down their guns, or else we're going to be in a state of conflict indefinitely. The only solution I can see is for the Palestinians to put down their guns. If they do so, I think Israel will be delighted for them to have self-government, but they're not going to be empowered to hurt Jews. That's going to be prevented.
No, but the international community doesn't see it as, first of all.
Well, I don't think there is such a thing as an international community, frankly.
Okay, United. Okay, what about nation then?
Huh?
How about the United? Do you believe what any statement the United Nations says, or?
I would say the United Nations has said some good things and some bad things. So everything that everybody says, even if it's my mother, is subject to my examination. So to just say that the land is occupied is to sort of beg the question, whose land is it? Under what terms? What's the deal? Israel won that land in a war.
No,
with
I understand
Jordan.
that, but I'm saying that
Yeah.
is the territories. Do you think it's productive to peace when more settlers and more communities are being built? And do you think that's towards peace or do you think it's conflict?
I think that's productive for Israel's security and the fulfillment of some Jews' idea that that is Jewish land. So whether or not that's Jewish land, I think, is yet to be determined. The Arabs who live there can help make that decision. If they're violent, then their future does not look good. If they're peaceful, then they have an opportunity for sovereignty, because the Jews don't really want or need to push them out. Also, that's not a Jewish thing, to push people out or to hurt them, exterminate them, God forbid, any of those things. We don't do that. However, we are willing
The settlers do.
No, I don't think they do. I think you have it wrong. I think that's sort of like a made-up thing.
There's
I don't believe that for a
documentaries
second.
online. Norm, are you seriously didn't see a whole bunch of videos all over the internet?
So now your response to me is, did you not see a whole bunch of videos? I haven't seen a whole bunch of videos. However, that land is disputed. Jews want it and Arabs want it.
But, okay, so
And as
when
I
you're
said a
saying-
minute ago, wait, let me finish my statements. As I said a minute ago, the future of it will be decided by whether or not the Arabs who were there are peaceful. If they're violent, then Jews are going to feel justified to continue to settle more. I don't even think we're kicking out people who are already there. I think we're just settling area that is sort of left up in the air. You have area A, B, and C. So I'm not sure where you claim that a Jew is somehow pushing somebody out. Which area are you talking about? Do you have a specific area, or is it just something you saw in a video?
No, Norm. I'm saying I'm just saying the international community. I know you don't like that name.
Wait. I asked you. It's not that I don't like the name. I don't think it exists. So I asked you a direct question. In what place did Jews push somebody out? Where?
No,
What's the
like
name of the place?
No, like the Palestinians that have homes, right? Palestinians that have homes. There are settlers that come and say
AB,
that.
I asked you, that's the second time I asked you. You seem very confident that somebody is doing something. Where did they do this, please? It's the third time I'm asking. And the fact that you don't have an answer makes me think it's not true, to be honest. Where did somebody push somebody out, please? What's the name of the place? If you know. It sounds like you don't know. Are you Palestinian? I forget if you are. AB, it's very quiet in here. What happened? You were going to tell me this big revelation that somebody pushed somebody out. What happened? Suddenly it gets quiet when I ask you who, what, where? That's not credibility. AB, now it's just you and me, and you have the mod. What happened? Why are you quiet? You're looking it up. So although you had a point to make, you really didn't know even where this was happening. And I would say you probably don't know if it's happening.
Norm, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
So who pushed who out where?
I don't know. Maybe I touched something accidentally. Oh, you're talking about going back to the conversation? Oh, yes.
AB, listen to the question. You say somebody pushed somebody out. Who, what, where, when? Who pushed who out? And when?
So, for example, there are a lot of Palestinians that live in the Golan Heights, right? However, there's been an increase of settlements there, and almost completely Israeli.
Okay. So this is so what village did they push somebody out and take their homes? Tell me.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying the areas as in, yeah, it's split.
But you don't know. There's
said
no village where they did this.
He said the Golden Heights. That is
What village in the Golan Heights did somebody push somebody out? Where in the Golan Heights? It's a pretty big, huh? You don't know, right? Let's be honest.
No.
You don't know. Okay. I don't know and you don't know.
Around
What?
Hebron, I believe.
Hebron is not in the Golan Heights. You're not from the area, are you? You really don't know. You haven't got what? You don't have a clue what you're talking about, do you?
I said settlers. Wait, someone
Yeah.
wants to. Oh, hot, man. Oh, my God. Sorry.
Oh, you're hot now. That's one of those diversionary tactics. Now you change the subject how hot you are.
Because I'm
Yes,
talking.
yes. No, it's because you don't have an answer. Because you just talked some mice a lie. Whoa, there she is. She's gone. Great. I'm the captain now. Isn't that something that you say, oh, the Jews are pushing somebody out? You say who, what, where, when, and suddenly it goes quiet.
No, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Good. Well, you have 12 areas, I think, that the last time that I checked by the east of Jerusalem. I'm not sure of the exact names of the villages, but
Yes.
I think this is the most I don't know, most the area with the highest conflicts kind of hostile environment.
Okay.
So you have east.
So
east,
what
east.
happened? Are you talking about Darius Singh?
Yeah, and mainly.
So we talk about that? Do we talk about what happened in Darius Singh? Okay. So as far as I know, it was owned by a Jew, and the people who lived there hadn't paid their rent, so they evicted them.
You're talking about Jarrah, صح?
I'm sorry, Sheikh Jarrah. My mistake. Sheikh Jarrah. Okay.
Yeah. I know about Sheikh Jarrah, that it
Okay.
was actually leased and they didn't pay the rent and they wanted to claim it back. So this is justified. This is
So where did a Jew push somebody out?
You have different areas, like what she was referring to in some conflicts in the area of the
Different areas. So let's go through them. Well, all right. In the Golan Heights, where did somebody do this?
And east.
So,
Jerusalem.
which one do you want to start with? Golan Heights or East Jerusalem?
There
Which one do you want to start?
12 provinces.
Let's start with, you said 12 already twice. Let's start with number one. Number one, go ahead. Tell me the name of the place.
I don't know. I just said.
I don't know either.
I can look it
Okay,
up.
great. So why would you make a point and not even know what you're talking about? Don't you think there's a bias there?
No. There's no bias there. There's no bias there.
There's no bias. So you made an accusation, but you really didn't know. So where did you hear about it?
12. I read about it.
Okay. You read about it where? What did you read? What did they say?
I read about the 12 provinces that have problems.
12 provinces.
Yes.
Okay, I'm listening. Wait, what? You think Israel has provinces?
No.
Yes,
To give you perspective, even when you refer to Sheikh Jarrah, I knew what happened with Sheikh Jarrah, and I knew.
But you don't know what happened when you talk about it. You said somebody took somebody's place, 12 places, but you can't name a single one. So why don't we start with the first one?
Do you want me to look it up and
No, I want you to. If you don't have a point, and now you're going to go Google it, it seems to me you didn't have a point in the first place, right?
But
maybe
that's not logical. Like you can.
It's not logical.
There's an area of conflict.
Okay,
Like for example,
I'll tell you what. It sounds like you want to learn more about this.
I don't know the name of the.
If you don't know the name, then how could you make the claim?
Okay.
How could you make a claim if you don't know?
If
Why would you believe it?
Is there a dispute that there are some areas in the south of Lebanon that's south of Syria that's occupied? We know that, but I don't know the name of the villages.
Wait a second. The Golan Heights have been annexed for security. We offered Syria peace. They attacked us. They lost. We took the land. We're not giving it back. Okay?
I'm not contesting this.
So then what are we talking about?
I'm just saying the logic of that. I don't know the name of the villages over there, but I know that something happened there. And
okay, something happened, but maybe we don't know what happened, so we got to find it out, right? Well, it's not assumed that somebody took something. You can't accuse somebody of something, but you don't know what they did. It's a little bit ridiculous.
I know what you mean. But let me ask you the question in a different
All
way.
right.
You think
All
you think that all the conflicts that happen between the areas of conflicts or disputes for land between the Arabs and between the Israelis that led to having settlements, they were all wrong, and it was all the right of the Jews?
You have to show me the individual case. I can't make a judgment unless I know what we're talking about. You want me to make a global statement that Jews are always right? Nobody is always right. We're not God. We're just human beings.
Good. So okay, we have a middle ground here. So what we're saying is that conflicts and the settlements that keep like being increasing, it doesn't help or doesn't add any sort of a good faith or
it helps Israeli security, I would say.
On the longer term.
So Lee, I'm going to tell you something. There's two options here. Either the Palestinians stop killing Jews, or the Jews are going to do what we think is right. We don't have a peace deal, then we're not going to say you guys get to have a sovereign state. There's no reason for it. We're already there. Okay? We're not leaving and letting the Palestinians kill us. That would be stupid. That would be irresponsible. That wouldn't be responsible to our children. So as long as the Palestinians can't figure out whether they want peace or war, we're going to settle the land of historic Judea and Samaria. Now, if they want to make a peace deal, then we'll say, oh, well, maybe we'll leave. We left Gaza. It didn't work out so well when we left Gaza. Instead, we did something nice, which is leaving Gaza, and they used that as an opportunity to kill Jews. So the next time we make a deal, we may or may not trust them. I think they killed the idea of the two-state solution on October 7th. I can't think of anybody who wants to go back to that. Maybe, who knows, but I would say not. To me, it seems unlikely. So you can blame those Hamas guys for that if you want to. I don't say the settlers. I don't think the settlers are a problem. The settlers are mostly peaceful people. They just want to make businesses and make farms and settle the land.
I'm saying it is. I'm not saying. I hear what you're saying, and it's very logical, and we're on the same page.
Thank you.
And you know what's my background.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying is, from a political side of view, with playing politics. What I'm saying is that sometimes these acts, if we insist on doing them, even if it's, I understand sometimes it needs to be done for security reasons, and this is justified. But what I'm saying is that on the long term, if you're trying to play politics, one way or another, that will lead to more conflicts and more kind.
Why?
It will just inject.
Why?
And it will just inject that kind of vicious cycle even further. That's because
Why?
You're just pushing, like you're not giving them. They are stuck. They are stuck. Their backs are stuck behind the wall, and they don't know what to do. And then they start going crazy.
I'll tell you what to do.
Give a chance.
They got to put the guns down and stop going crazy. That's what they should do. See how easy that was? How hard is that? You want to make peace? They're going to have a nice life. You want to make war? We're going to make war.
Let's go back to the point what you said when you guys left Gaza, because this is also another icky part. I understand it was a good thing.
Would you call it an icky part?
Yes. I'll tell you why it was an icky part, because.
What does icky mean? You mean like not good?
Not good, because it wasn't. One way or another, the right wing was supporting and pushing Hamas to get rid of Fatah and to basically divide and conquer, instead of having.
Okay, well that's politics. That's politics.
Yes, but instead of having a unified entity, you guys created a division between.
No, we didn't create. Hamas killed those people, not us. You can't blame us for that. Hamas murdered Fatah, so they have to wear that.
And they threw them from the roofs. We've seen the videos.
Okay, but very few people will acknowledge it. Don't blame Israel for Hamas's bad behavior. They have to take responsibility.
I understand, but that's politics. But that's politics, and we cannot deny that Israel had a hand in that. You know what? It's irrelevant.
You know what? The United States gives Hamas what? $500 million a year. You can blame the United States too. Iran gives them weapons. You can blame Iran too. Ultimately, they're responsible for their behavior.
Of course, and I blame the United States of creating that monster which is called Al Qaeda, and that bid them of.
Well, you know what? It's very easy to blame somebody, but they're responsible for their behavior. If they behave badly, that's their problem, not the problem of the United States. Yeah, we're very manipulative and we're world power, but we don't know how to deal with those people. So either they have two choices: either do the right thing, or else we're going to step in and pursue our interests, right? The interest, I think, of the whole world is peace and business, and they want to make a future for their kids. But if these people are going to do suicide bombing, then we're not going to have there's no deal to be made with people who do suicide bombs. If they want to kill themselves, then how are you going to make it? How are you going to negotiate with them? They're suicidal. That's not a sustainable thing. So it's unfortunately, they missed an opportunity for peace and prosperity, I think. Because nobody is going to be on their side anymore. Who are they going to deal with? Mahmoud Abbas? I mean, they hate him. The Palestinians hate this guy. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So if the Palestinians hate him, what good, who are we going to negotiate with?
The monster that was created over there, which is Hamas.
Huh?
That unfortunately.
We're not going to negotiate with them.
That's the thing, that's what I'm saying. That's the icky part of it.
That may be icky, but we're not going to go with them.
Yeah, I understand. But what I'm trying to say is that there are some politics that needs to be played in this conflict one way or another. Because
would you make a deal with Yahya Sinwar? We're going to kill Yahya Sinwar. That's a guarantee. You see his life the other day? We're going to take this guy out. He's going to be held accountable. Of course,
he's a dead man walking now.
Correct. And he knows it now. It was very stupid what he did. Now he's begging for his life.
Yeah, I understand. But that's the thing
who are we going to negotiate with? We're going to take those guys out. And then we're going to, look, somebody's going to take charge over there, whether it's the Saudis or you're Egyptian, right?
Yes.
So the Egyptians, and by the way, we know that the Egyptians were letting these weapons come through. We get it now. So I don't know why that everybody thinks that they can double deal and hurt us, but, we're not going to trust people who double deal and hurt us. Why should we? So again, we tried the Western way of sort of make a deal, let's make a state, let's go to Oslo, let's do Gaza. And their response was kill, kill, kill. So if they want to go kill, 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 then we'll play kill, kill, kill. We can go in either direction. Israel has been there a long time now, and they're not going to kid themselves about how to deal with our enemies. Either we're going to deal with it diplomatically, or we're going to deal with it militarily. And in the meantime, the Jews are going to do what they feel is best for them because they're not getting any offer of their side. So we're not going to let them do it's not our ability anymore. If they want to make settlements in the West Bank or Judea, Samaria, you know what? Maybe the Jews are going to settle Gaza too now. Why not? What's to stop us? What's the difference? If you're telling us settle Gaza, what's going to happen in Gaza, Nick? Why should we leave? What's it? Who's going to? What? So the U.S. will put it on. You think that's going to work? The United States and Israel are completely enmeshed now. very unlikely that suddenly we're going to get a divorce. If we get a divorce, we'll deal with it. We can split the baby, whatever.
I hear you, but again, I saying that some politics needs to play part in solving that